Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's your boy Sir Wilkes of the Jobbeteers podcast, and I hope all is well. I want to wish the 1130 podcast a happy 100 episode. Keep grinding, brother, and keep doing your thing. Happy 100.
Well, yeah. It's your man Stan Michael, True King R&B. I'm here to give my congratulations to my man DeAndre on the 1130 podcast on your 100th show. 100 shows. Baby. That's Hollywood, baby. But listen, you one of the first guys to ever have me on your platform to put me over. So you know what? It's always love on this side, bro. You keep doing your thing. It's only the beginning. As always. More on this later.
This is Warren Milo from Buzzing with Milo podcast. I want to give a major shout out to my boy Dre on Wheels for his 100th episode. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the 1 and the 00. Congratulations to you, man. Keep on doing it. Keep on grinding, man. Y'all stay tuned for all these great episodes, man. 100 episodes. Congrats, Dre.
Dude, it's your boy Blackheart, Head Honcho here off the Top Ropes podcast. Want to give a special shout out to my main man Dre on Wheels of the 1130 podcast. 100 episodes, man. We got 100 episodes coming up, man. I'm super ridiculously proud of you, man, from the bottom of my heart for all the achievements, all the accolades, all the hustling that you've been doing, man. Greatly appreciate it. I love being a fan on your show. Can't wait to come back. You know what time it is. OTTR, we out. Peace.
1130 podcast, what's going on? It's the Big Whip Dog, Whipomania. Yo, I want to celebrate you, dog. 100 episodes. 100 episodes of your podcast. 1130 podcast, the dopest wrestling podcast in the world, next to the Whip Show. Support you, man. Anytime you need me, you know I'm there, my G. Take care, bro.
Man, it's your boy Kenneth Stones, a.k.a. Coffee Weeds, and one half of the Dirty Hills, and I'm here to say happy 100 episode. 100 episode to our guy, Dre, over there at 1130 podcast. Dre on Wheels, man. Happy 100 episodes to you, man. You know, we can't wait to see what you hold in the future, man. You know, we love you over here, man. Dirty Hills, man. You know we love you, man. Just know that you are Dirty Hills approved.
Yo, what up? This your boy Kenneth Stones, a.k.a. Coffee Weaston.
This your boy D.O.E. Good Brother Bowl.
And we are the Dirty Hills. You already know, man. You tuning in to 1130 podcast. Mm-hmm. Not 7:30, but 11:30.
Dude, that's my job. Not 7:30, but 11:30.
Yeah. And you have been Dirty Hills approved.
Yo, what it do, everybody? It's your man Dre, a.k.a. Dre on Wheels. Welcome, everyone, to another edition of the 1130 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling. What's goody? How everybody doing out there? It is Friday, man. Yes, it's Friday. The notification popped up on your phone. It's time to talk some pro wrestling, man. Good morning, good night, good afternoon to all my listeners, wherever you may be at in the world, man. For real, whether you're in the States, man, DC, Jersey, Chicago, wherever you may be at, Florida. I thank you guys so much. Overseas, man, Mexico, Germany, Canada, the UK, man. If you're listening to the 1130 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling, I appreciate you guys so much, man, for coming back here for another episode, man. It's going to be a really great show. Before I get started, for everyone who joined me this past Wednesday on EB Radio and YouTube, I want to send a big shout out to everyone, man. I thank you guys for joining me on the 100th episode of the 1130 podcast, the main show on EB Radio and YouTube. If you haven't checked out the episode, go head over, man. Head over to YouTube, or if you ain't watching on YouTube already, when you're done checking out this episode of Talk Pro Wrestling, check it out, man. For real, check it out. Speaking of YouTube, make sure you subscribe. Yes, hit the subscribe button down below, like it, leave a comment, share it, do all that great stuff wherever you listening to Talk Pro Wrestling at this Friday. Make sure you subscribe, and also don't forget to follow the 1130 podcast on all social media platforms. But you guys, man, yo, like I said, it's Friday, so it's time to get into some wrestling, man. We ain't gonna waste no more time, man. We're gonna start it off, you guys, with the big news that's coming out of Ring of Honor, man. Yes, Ring of Honor, man. Ring of Honor has been haven't been doing so good lately. because of the pandemic. A lot of people haven't been doing good lately. Ring of Honor has been suffering financially. A lot of other wrestling promotions, such as like MLW and Impact Wrestling, and just to name a few, has brought back fans, brought back live attendance, and the Ring of Honor haven't really done so. They've done so a couple of times, a couple of months ago, where they had a big event. But since then, Ring of Honor has not been able to, get fans in their shows and stuff. And since that, it's been hurting them big financially. But the most important thing is, of course, with COVID and the pandemic, is trying to keep all the wrestlers and everyone safe. But Ring of Honor, man, is going to be releasing all of their talent, man, from their contracts. Man, like, we need Ring of Honor back, man. I catch Ring of Honor when I can, and I love it because it's pure wrestling. Every time I get to see the pure championship on the line, man, I love it. I love it. Everything about Ring of Honor is it's awesome. I want to say shout out to the Jobbeteers. I seen something on the Instagram post where they posted where like the NXT. You remember when NXT just was beginning back in like 2014 to all the way to like 16, 17, man. A lot of those guys were Ring of Honor guys, man. A lot of them, Adam Cole, man, the list goes on. Samoa Joe, just, a lot of them, man. And man, to see where, Ring of Honor is at right now, man, big shouts out to all the guys and man, and all the girls in their future, man, and what they do in for Ring of Honor, because we need Ring of Honor back. I had my guy Shane Taylor, who was a part of Ring of Honor with Shane Taylor Promotions, man, here on the podcast last year. You can go back and check that episode out, but it was real dope. So, man, shout outs, man, go out to the whole Ring of Honor crew, the production crew, the ring crew, the wrestlers, man, the referees, man, in this hard time, trying to find jobs. And hopefully, with wrestling really sort of booming with, in other areas and stuff, hopefully, the wrestling world really look out for Ring of Honor, man. So, hopefully they come back with a fresh start in the new year, you guys, for real. But you guys, man, we're going to move on here on Talk Pro Wrestling. A big event, you guys. Big event went down last Saturday. Bound for Glory 2021. Man, it was awesome. It kicked off. We seen some huge surprises, you guys. A few surprises, but we seen some. I know a lot of everybody was kind of figuring, some other surprises that was going to come in the door, but you guys, hey, the Inspiration, man, formerly known as the IIconics, are in Impact Wrestling. And not only they are Impact Wrestling, they are the Knockouts, the Knockouts tag team champion. I was about to call them the Impact Women's tag team, but yeah, they are the Knockouts tag team champions. They defeated Decay at Bound for Glory. Man, I'm just glad to see both of them back and doing their thing. Of course, when they were in the E, like, man, oh man, everybody loved them when they was together, like iconic. Like that is so dope, man. But that they back together, and hearing some story, I think Peyton Royce at one point didn't want to go. I think Peyton Royce, I believe, wanted to go single. I'm not sure, but it's so awesome to see them back. And on top of the women's division, man, in wrestling, it's really dope. Really dope. Another dope matchup we seen, you guys. It was a triple threat match for the X Division Championship. We seen Steve McLean and El Phantasmo take on Trey Miguel. And this Trey Miguel, man, like Trey Miguel and Ricochet, like I said to my guy Shiz Lansky from Off the Top Ropes Podcast. Shout out Off the Top Ropes Podcast. I was like, do Trey Miguel remind you of Ricochet? Like his music a little bit, dun, dun, dun. And then his everything he comes to the ring. But I dig him. I would love to see with all this the forbidden door wide open, and wrestlers going here and there, and some fantasy booking in minds. I would like to see Trey Miguel versus Ricochet. Maybe they fought on the Indies. I don't know, but if so, I gotta YouTube that. But yeah, Trey Miguel, you guys, is the new X Division champion, you guys. X Division champion. Speaking of champions, also, you guys, the Impact Tag Team Championships were on the line. It was a triple threat match where the Good Brothers defended their Impact Wrestling Tag Team Champions against Finn Juice, man. Joey's got an attitude. I love that song, man, for real. And the Bullet Club with the Good Brothers retain, man. It was a good match, in my opinion, man. Really good triple threat match. The Bullet Club was kind of like a favorite in that one, though. But since I like FinJuice, I was rooting for FinJuice. But the Good Brothers, indeed, you guys retain. Also, you guys, we've seen Violent by Design in tag team action against Heath. Yes, in the past weeks, we've seen Violent by Design and Rhino going part ways, but the whole little Mystique sort of promos was a little intriguing in my way. For several months I've been getting back into Impact Wrestling, and man, it's been good. But the Violent by Design and seeing what Eric Young is doing, because he didn't really get too much great treatment in WWE, all that push, but we was hoping Sanity will go in a good direction. But Violent by Design. They had a tag team matchup with Heath and Rhino, the returning Rhino, reunited with Heath. Yeah, man, that was a really awesome moment. Great matchup. Rhino hitting the spear to get the W, man. So cool matchup. The Call Your Shot Gauntlet matchup. My man Moose. Man, my man Moose did his thing. My man, he did his thing. Pin Matt Cardona. He all over the place. My man in GCW, Impact Wrestling. That's what I like about what's going on in other wrestling promotions. Man, they just you don't just see them just on Impact or just in AEW, and stuff like that. So I love it, man. I really, really love it, man. That's cool. Moose won the gauntlet match, and he gets an opportunity of a championship of his choice, man, whenever he wants. Kind of like the Money in the Bank, I guess, right? What else we at, you guys? Mickie James, the beautiful, beautiful Mickie James, man. One of my second all-time favorite women wrestlers. Trish Stratus is number one. But that Trish Stratus Mickie James storyline back in 2006 leading up to WrestleMania, man, that was good, man. That was so good. I was 15 years old. I'll never forget WrestleMania 22 when, for everybody young kids, man, cover your ears though. But when Trish Stratus, when Mickie James grabbed Trish Stratus' pussy, man, I was like, oh, wow. Okay, this is where we going here, man. Like, man, yeah, but great times. But Mickie James, you guys, is obviously back in Impact Wrestling, and she did her thing with a great rivalry she's been having with Deonna Purrazzo. And Mickie James picked up the W against Deonna Purrazzo, and she's the new Knockouts champion. New Knockouts champion, Bound for Glory, man, was off the chain. In the main event, you guys, we've seen Josh Alexander take on Christian. Hard-fought matchup. Really, really hard-fought matchup. Christian been all over the place, man. He was at the Royal Rumble earlier this year. He beat Kenny Omega for the Impact title on the debut episode of Rampage. Like Christian all over the place. So shout out to Christian, man, that he got all this, in it, not even just energy, but he can still go. And WWE just didn't, I guess want to risk that. But yeah, man, Josh Alexander wound up defeating Christian in this wonderful matchup. But oh man, it didn't last too long. And last night on Impact Wrestling, of course, Josh Alexander wants his title back. Moose cashed in, man. Like, man, I guess that's the thing now. Like, cashing in is, when they're unexpected. Like, but hey, yo, man, I always, had real big hopes for Moose and, in the wrestling business. And I know he's definitely going to go far in whatever, he put his mind to and accomplish. So, yeah, man, I definitely see that, man. And what he did last night on Impact, it was awesome. I'm loving it, man. I'm really loving it. Like I said, man, what a time to be a wrestling fan. Everything, for real. Speaking of wrestling fan, man, and just everything, NXT this past week, we had Halloween Havoc. And, man, it seemed like history will repeat itself, though. Like, I don't know, man. WWE, man, like, what's going on, you guys? Like, with the new Chucky series out, I guess, Chucky was the host of Halloween Havoc, but you guys remember back in WCW when Chucky was sort of like, man, like, it wasn't great at all. It wasn't great at all. But nonetheless, though, we've seen Toxic Attraction, Gigi and JC, in a triple threat matchup with Io Shirai, Zoe Starks, Indy Hartwell and her girl, I can't remember her name, in a triple threat matchup for the NXT Women's Tag Team Championship. And airway to ladder way, hell, whatever, but it was a ladder match. Dope ladder matchup. Really, really dope matchup. Man, that fall, the Io Shirai took off the ladder, man, was crucial. Like, it was real crucial, though. But nonetheless, JC, Toxic Attraction, pick up the W, and they are the new NXT Women's Tag Team Champion. The camera kind of like was going back and forth on I think it was Gigi maybe who got that belt. I'm not sure. But nonetheless, yeah, they was going back and forth because she just grabbed one belt. I was like, grab the other belt, shawty, like, you know. But yeah, man, it was a dope matchup. Really, really dope. You know, they could have gone away with the Halloween Havoc, but real special, you know, special edition of the show, you know, where Halloween is this Sunday. So hope everybody stays safe during your trick-or-treating and all that, man. For real. NXT, man, it's just, I don't know, since they've been 2.0 now, and with Shawn Michaels, hopefully in the coming weeks, it'll, you know, maybe improve a little bit more or so. Shawn Michaels has, you know, is taking over the spot of Triple H's, and he's now running NXT. So, hey, man, I'm looking forward to seeing where that goes, man. Other than that, man, we've seen Roderick Strong defeat Odyssey Jones. Mandy Rose, man, the beautiful, beautiful Mandy Rose went one-on-one with Raquel Gonzalez in a street fight, a trick or street fight. And Mandy Rose, the beautiful Mandy Rose, defeated Raquel to become the new NXT Women's Champion. And I was saying to myself on this match right here, which was, you know, a cool matchup. Mandy Rose, you know, coming back down to NXT, and I like, you know, certain superstars getting that refresh on their career, maybe coming back down to NXT, such as like Finn Balor, you know, was really dope. But Mandy Rose, man, is you could tell she's going to go far. She grew on me, you know. She was only kind of like a little pretty girl, and okay, she's just there to just be, you know, pretty, but she getting in the ring and she doing her thing, and I'm really loving it because I remember for a while, man, WWE, the not just the blondes, but the women in WWE who was just eye candy. They was just beautiful, man. They didn't do too much, man. I remember, man, Stacy Keibler when I was growing up, man. You talking about eye candy? You talking about going through puberty? You like, like Stacy Keibler was one. Tori Wilson was another one. Further down in the line from them, Kelly was one, man. Like, you know, it's so many in between that I you know, that was just to name a few. But I mean, you know, man, like it's so amazing to see how far the women has come in professional wrestling, in the WWE also too, you know, because it was just bra and panties, you know. Trish Stratus, you know, like I said, was my favorite woman. And before she turned into Stratusfaction and doing her thing, she was barking like a dog by events in DC. You know, I wish I could have went to that event, but not just for that. But you know, she was just with TNA, you know, testing Albert, you know. But yeah, man. So it is really awesome to see how women are coming so far in pro wrestling. Really, really great. Really, really great. We seen a debut, you guys, of Lil Oos, man. Lil Oos. I'm just gonna call him Lil Oos right now. I gotta get his name though, for real. No disrespect to him. Man, oh man, they jeans are strong. They jeans are strong. I can't wait to see what he do in NXT 2.0, man, because yo, this storyline of the bloodline is all over the place, for real. It's all over the place, and the bloodline run deep, man. It run deep. For real. Yo, Imperium picked up the W. Hey, everybody, man, just about what? The NXT Women Tag Team Championships, the NXT Women's Championship, and the NXT Tag Team Championship all changed hands. All changed hands at Halloween Havoc this past Tuesday, which was, you know, was a cool show. And then we had the main event with Tommaso Ciampa against Braun Breaker. Now, some people might not really fuck with Braun Breaker, but I'm digging him. I really liking him. He got to grow on a lot of. Now, if he changed the singlet that he got now, like I said a couple of weeks ago when NXT 2.0 began, you know, you flipping through the channels for a little kid. Now, you know, WWE is for little kids. We all grew up on it, and a lot of us still watch it. But if you flipping through the channel, like I said, as a little kid, colorful, all this, you're gonna like it. You're gonna tune in. So. Hey, man, but Tommaso Ciampa retained his championship, which was a hard-fought matchup, man. Braun Breaker did not go down without a fight. Like, Tommaso Ciampa put him down. He put him down, you guys, for real. Man, that was NXT. You know, it was a not great show, but it was cool, man. I can't wait to see where NXT goes in the coming weeks. But you guys, man, WWE released its pay-per-view schedule for the entire 2020. So, excuse me, for the entire 2022. Man, and it's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting, and I think the big thing that's interesting about it is no pay-per-view in February, nor is it no pay-per-view in March. And in my opinion, I think that's great. I think WWE needs to work. And before I say this, I believe, they canceled TLC in December this year. And I'm pretty sure with the pay-per-view that's going to be in Atlanta, the New Year pay-per-view or whatever, it's going to probably feature a lot of TLC stipulations or so. Who knows? But yeah, man, I think, with them not having no pay-per-view in February or March, give them hell of a lot of time to, build on, stars and tell stories in between, and yeah, I know I'm saying this, and WWE really don't listen to us, and they could, probably obviously maybe will do the opposite. But I think, man, it would be really, really dope, man, if they could take that time, man, and build, man, guys, and build incredible storylines going into that huge WrestleMania. 2-night WrestleMania is going to be in Dallas. So hey, man, I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. A couple of pay-per-views, I think a change spot. SummerSlam is actually in July. It's in July. Now, I don't think that's, first or whatever, though, but we're going to see, man. We're going to see. The pay-per-view schedule is looking pretty interesting, though. Pretty interesting. You guys, man, this has been an awesome show of the 1130 Podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling. I want to take this time out right here of the show, man, and give some shout-outs, man, for real. I want to send a shout-out, like I said, to my boy, Shiz Lansky, and the guys over at Off the Top Ropes Podcast. Yes, sir, for real. Shout them out, man. Shiz, man, really support the 1130 Podcast. And also, shout out to my guy, Buzzing with Marlo. Thank you also for sending in that shout out video, also seeing yourself on TV and on the radio, on the 1130 Podcast this past Wednesday. So thank you, brother. Also, once again, shout out to the Jabba Tears Podcast. My guy, Sir Wilkins. Appreciate you, my guy, for that shout out video. And also wishing 100 episodes and celebrating the 1130 Podcast. Shout out to Talk of Champions, my guy Stan Michaels, man, the true king of R&B. Thank you, man, for the shout out video. Also, man, I just want to thank everybody, man, as far as shout out videos goes. But yo, man, shout out to the Dirty Hills Podcast, my guy Kenneth, aka Kofi Weaston, and my guy Good Brother Bo from the Dirty Hills Podcast. Yes, sir. Shout out to the Dirty Hills Podcast. Shout out to the Your Sports Podcast, my guy Big Baby. And my guys over there doing real big things, with the podcast. Shout out to the Clock Street Wrestling Podcast. That's always bringing that dope fire. Shout out to the Midwest Podcast for having me on their podcast a couple of weeks ago. It was fire. It was awesome. Shout out to Alex and B-Mac. B-Mac always spilling the tea. So, man, I when I get any shout outs, I kind of like forget I ain't got nothing written down. So, I just thought I'd take this time out to shout some people out, man. Shout out to all my wrestling guys out there, whether you're trying to pursue wrestling, whether you were a wrestler or, you're retired, whether you just love wrestling and just into it, man. So, hey, shout you out. Shout out to all the wrestling podcasters. For real, man. Shout out to the Choke Slam Report Wrestling Podcast. Man. Shout out to Rapping Wrestling. My guy, Derek. It was awesome having you on the podcast. Oh, man. So many podcasters, for real. So many. I don't want to forget now, man. But like I said, shout out to everybody. Shout out everybody, and thank you guys for supporting the 1130 Podcast. But we're going to move on, you guys, here on the podcast. Well, the season premiere of Monday Night Raw went down on Monday, and they call it the new era, right? Now, tell me what was so new about Raw. Now, when they initially posted on social media, said, yo, the Raw Tag Team Champions, RK Bro would take on AJ Styles and Omos. Are you ready? Who you going for? Blah, 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 blah. I guess WWE said, well, damn, they bashing the shit out of us, right? They get the Monday Night Raw. They have a triple threat matchup between Otis and Chad Gable, the Street Profits, or American Alpha, or whatever they call, and the Dirty Dogs of Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. And which I was thinking the Street Profits was going to win that. Out comes Omos, to get the Street Profits, attention. So we get Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler to take on AJ Styles and Omos, and which was a cool matchup, and I guess the only really exciting matchup of Monday Night Raw that had the fans going and off their feet, of course, for the RKO. We seen Zelina have her, crown celebration. Seth Rollins, man, is back on Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Rollins, man, is back. I love Rollins, man. I love his intro. I just love everything about him. I know some people, just like, hey, it's corny or whatever, but hey, man, I love it, man. He's having fun. He's doing his thing, man, for real. But nonetheless, we kicked off Raw with Seth Rollins or Big E coming out there, doing his thing. Shout out to Houston. I hope the Astros win, according to what happened at the beginning of Raw. But nonetheless, you got Seth Rollins, you had Rey Mysterio, and also you had Finn Balor came out there to all, sort of proclaim, a win or to proclaim the WWE Championship, a spot at it. So, we had a fatal four-way ladder matchup, and Seth Rollins won the ladder matchup to take on Big E for the WWE Championship. And what a comeback that was for Seth Rollins after losing to Edge at Crown Jewel, which was actually the best Crown Jewel we ever seen, with some horrible matches, the best in the world with Shane and Ziggler. Like, really? And a lot of times the crowd was there, but this crowd, man, they was on fire, though. It was on fire. But Seth Rollins, man, bounced back, and now he's going to take on Big E, man, at a future championship opportunity. So, hey, man, that's dope. That is really dope. Speaking of dope, man, Smackdown is tonight. Yes. I know a lot of people might not catch it, may catch it. Some people are watching the World Series. But for those who are catching it, it's going to be on FS1 this week. They didn't say that last week, right? Or whatever. And it was on FS1 the week before. So, yeah. But nonetheless, SmackDown is tonight, man. So we're going to see what Roman Reigns got to say, the tribal chief, about the ass whooping that Brock Lesnar put on him last week. Now, he really better thank Adam Pearce, because Brock Lesnar laid a whooping on Roman Reigns and the Usos and just about everybody else who came out there to try to interfere or stop what was going on, man. Like Brock said, when I show up, bro, I'm whooping your ass on sight. And I loved it, man. I loved it. Everything was going on. And typical WWE, after he come in and destroy some shit because maybe he lost or he didn't get his way, et cetera, et cetera. But, man, they shouldn't have did that. I mean, hopefully he come back. Hopefully Adam Pearce maybe raised it. Who knows? But, hey, that leaves Sonya Deville in charge. Maybe if Adam Pearce still out, Sonya Deville and Naomi, we can really get that, because Naomi, she need to beat the brakes off Sonya Deville. And we are hitting, Paul. I'm all going too fast. I'm so excited. Paul Heyman saying, Sonya Deville, how you know? Paul Heyman saying, Naomi, how you know she's not in the bloodline? Who knows? But Naomi need to put that whooping on Sonya Deville. For real. Other than that, you guys, man, Hit Row made their debut on SmackDown last week. We're going to see what they do, if they're going to be on the show tonight, man. What you guys' thoughts on Hit Row debut? I think it was okay, man. I think they can just pull a promo, just talk. I don't think you have to really rhyme while you're pulling the promo. They can kill the background music, just do your thing. Of course, I want to see more from B-Fab. Because she a go-getter. I love what she was doing in NXT. Like when Legado fan Del Tasman, they was, coming out there, Hit Row, man. B-Fab said, I ain't rocking like Lump. I ain't rocking like that. But I want to see more from him, man. Top Dollar is obviously, to me, it's going to be a really breakout superstar, but I really also want to see what they do with Swerve Scott. So hope they don't get lost in the shuffle. Hope they don't get lost. But you guys, man, we're going to move on the podcast. Other than that, you guys, coming up tonight. We got AEW Rampage, and the AEW World Championship Eliminator Tournament continues. Last week, we seen Orange Cassidy defeat Powerhouse Hobbs. Now, I had big hopes for Powerhouse Hobbs, hoping that maybe, just maybe, he could upset Orange Cassidy. Now, the matchup didn't even go more than, 10 minutes or so? But nonetheless, Orange Cassidy advanced, and Orange Cassidy would take on Moxley. Yes, we'll take on Jon Moxley this Wednesday on Dynamite, which Jon Moxley defeated 10 of Dark Order in a brutal way on Dynamite this past week. So, hey, we're going to see where that goes. Also, Daniel Bryan defeated Dustin Rhodes last week on AEW Dynamite last Saturday. So now he advanced. And Eddie Kingston also defeated Lance Archer. So now we got a huge matchup with a back and forth. Have been a whole lot of beef and spiciness going on between the two. Bryan Danielson will go one-on-one with Eddie Kingston. You know, Bryan Danielson was like, yo, man, once Eddie leaves the ring or so, or once, it's time off, he don't put in work. He don't go to the gym or so. He don't do this, and Eddie Kingston came back with that fire promo on Dynamite this week. Like, homie, you don't know what I've been through, man. I got to take meds to really not snap on motherfuckers out here. Like, but obviously, I'm Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson. I see him going all the way, and he's either going to take on Orange Cassidy or Moxley, which is two great picks. So, who you guys thoughts? Who you guys want to see take on Bryan Danielson? Can Eddie Kingston maybe upset Bryan Danielson? Nah. But hey, who knows? But that's going down. Bryan Danielson, Eddie Kingston tonight on Rampage, along with Dante Martin versus Matt Sydal and Abaddon versus Britt Baker, you guys, in a trick-or-treat match. So some Halloween treats, man. Speaking of AEW, Dynamite was dope this past week. CM Punk and Bobby Fish put on one of the best matches. Bobby Fish put on one of the best matches of his career, at least in I've seen. His matches that he did in NXT with Undisputed Era was awesome. But man, what he was doing was CM Punk breaking them down, and it was beautiful. MJF talking his trash. He get his quick victory, talking his trash and smack to Darby Allin, and Darby Allin wants his matchup with MJF at 4 Gear. Moxley, like I said, defeated 10. Sheeta picked up her 50th win after losing to Serena Deeb a couple of weeks ago and getting knocked in the head with her own trophy. So, hey, seemed like Sheeta, gets the revenge back in her win, and she moves on in the TBS Women's Championship Tournament. With AEW Dynamite moving over to TBS in the new year, Rampage is going to stay on TNT on Fridays. But, man, when this tournament, and I'm looking at this tournament full of these women, great women. I like how some women got some buys, though. But I want to hear you guys pick. Leave a comment, leave a review, whatever, man, on YouTube, or Apple Podcasts, let me know, or hit me up on Messenger or DM me, let me know. My picks all the way. I think it's going to be Jade Cargill versus Ruby Soho. That's what I see. I see that going all the way. For real. Man, speaking all the way, man, Cody Rhodes went all the way in the promo. He went all the way in that promo. Like, he came out in black. A lot of people thought he was, that was his moment. He's about to turn, especially when he shook Arn Anderson's hand. But Cody Rhodes adjusted the elephant in the room about turning heel when, going out the easy way or doing what's so easy, what the fans may want, because John Cena said it so simply, man, if I turn heel, all they're going to do is cheer me because they want to see me as a bad guy. Now, this generation in wrestling, man, is so wicked, man, because they'll boo you because they want to see you as a bad guy and cheer for you as a bad guy. That's so wild. But Cody Rhodes, man, stood his ground and like, yo, man, don't forget who built this house. You feel me? I can do whatever I want. But like, I'm going to stand my foot tall. I'm going to beat American Dream or whatever, American Nightmare, whatever, and I'm going to do what I got to do, So, hey, shout out to Cody. I thought the promo was real dope. And saying, man, I'm not going to turn heel, So, a lot of people going to say, man, that's John Cena-ish. But, hey, man, it was a dope promo. Dope promo. Dope matchup between Sammy Guevara and Ethan Page. and Sammy Guevara defending his TNT championships. In the main event, we seen Dark Order versus the Elite, and which was I guess it was a costume matchup. We seen the Elite coming out as Back in the Future or the Ghostbusters, and we seen Dark Order come out just about as I don't even know. It was an awesome matchup, man. Dynamite was off the chain. Can't wait for next week. It's going to be dope. We're going to see Andrade take on Cody and much, much more. The TBS Championship, Women's Championship continues. Yo, man, this has been an awesome show. Appreciate everyone and thank everyone for tuning in to the 1130 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling. This Friday, yes, man, this Friday. No guests this week, man. No guests. I'm going to try to get back some, guests in the coming weeks, man. I had been really busy and main focus was on that 100th episode. But you guys, man, stay tuned in the coming weeks. We have the 4.8 thousand downloads of the 1130 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling. Once again, shout out to my listeners in DC, Jersey, New York, Chicago, Florida, wherever you may be at, Texas. I love it, man. The UK, overseas. Thank everyone for tuning in here. Tell someone about the 1130 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling. If you would like to be a guest here, email me. That's the 1130 podcast at gmail.com or just DM me on social media so we can work, man. For real. I love it. I love it. But you guys, man, I'm out of here. Before I do, don't forget to follow the 1130 podcast on all social media platforms. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at the 1130 podcast. Yes, like the 1130 podcast on Facebook. And once again, subscribe to the 1130 podcast YouTube channel. Yes, like it, leave a comment, share it, do all that great stuff, man. I thank you guys so much. Appreciate everyone for supporting the 1130 podcast and helping the 1130 podcast main show get to 100 episodes. I'll see you guys this Wednesday on EB Radio and YouTube. Yes, man, we back at it. Episode 101. For real, man. And also, see you guys next week here on Talk Pro Wrestling. Yo, stay blessed, stay safe, give all the glory to God. It's your man Dre, a.k.a. Dre on Wheels, and I'm out.